Here's how to build $1 billion sales funnel with AI. And I'm actually gonna do a full live walkthrough with you. And so we've had one page in our business that has driven over $100 million in sales. And now I'm gonna show you the process that I use to make these kind of pages in literally minutes, which is insane. Other brands make these exact same kind of pages and they've built billion-dollar companies. And so first thing is, why the heck are we doing this? And so the goal here is not to be stealing other people's content. That's the last thing you want to do. You're just modeling what's been working for them. This is like Sam Walton back in the day before he built Walmart, was going around to retail stores and be like, oh, it's kind of good how they put those shelves there. It's kind of good how they did these end caps here. And he took all those ideas and made something better. That's exactly what we're doing. We're just skipping all the learning and pain and hassle that they had to go through to figure some of these things out, shortcutting our way to success so that then we can do things that add more value. We can do more unique kinds of marketing, better products, better service, all these kind of things that add value in the world, and not just reinventing the same stuff everyone's already figured out. And it's going to make you a heck of a lot more money a lot faster. And so here's exactly how this process works. So I've got this handy document here, and I got a little secret for you. Actually sell this thing right now, literally with live ads, and I'm just going to give it to you for free. So don't worry about this. You'll see me walk through some of these instructions. You're going to get all this for free. And so the first thing we want to do is we need to gather the facts. There's a saying I like to use that's the more facts you tell, the more you sell. David Ogilvy, one of the most famous copywriters and advertisers who built an $800 million agency, some of his most famous ads, like the one for Rolls-Royce, was literally just a regurgitation and presentation of facts, specific details. So that's the first thing we want to gather. So I'm going to use Amazon as an example, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if you're selling a physical product, a service, a SaaS product. The first thing you want to do is you want to gather all the facts about the product, all the measurements, all the details, all the ingredients, all the specifications, all the features, how many things of everything there is inside of this product. That's what you want to gather. So if you already have this stuff on a web page, you can follow this exact same strategy. If you don't already have this stuff on a web page, just download some of your Google Docs, download some of your Word docs, or talk to AI for a few minutes to get this factual information. But I'm going to show you this example as if we wanted to take an Amazon product and build $1 billion sales funnel. And so if I go over here to Amazon, I'm just going to randomly kind of pick, let's see, this bathroom scale product. So I don't want to have to rewrite all of this stuff to be able to build my sales funnel. So I'm going to use a tool that if you just Google full page screenshot Chrome, there's this little extension. This is a way to do it. There may be fancier ways to do it, but you add this to Chrome, and this allows me to go to any page. Could be a page on your website, could be an Amazon listing, could be anything. I can click this button and I get a full page screenshot of everything on here. So this is going to include all the facts and features that if this is your business, you already spent the time writing. If this is another product you're modeling, this could all be the stuff that they've created. But in most cases, we're talking about how to do this for your own product as quickly as possible to build $1 billion sales page. So I'm just going to download this PDF and we're just going to call this facts. I'm going to create a new folder on my desktop and call that scale. So we're just going to save this there and that's done. So next step in the process, we've already got the facts and features. Now I just want to extract some of this stuff in a document. So I have this prompt that basically says, hey, give me all these facts and features from this screenshot in something that's a little more easy to use. So I'm going to grab that. We're going to let that run. Then we'll go back up to the top. And the last thing we want to do is we want to grab some photos. So if you have graphics and photos, dump those into the same folder. So I'm going to act like this is my product and I'm going to save at least 5 of these. So this will be like photo number 1. This will be photo number 2, photo number 3, photo number 4, and photo number 5. So now I have 5 photos, and then this has done a good job giving me all this factual information for this product. You can see we got specification, pricing, shipping, features, brand claims, all of this good stuff. So then I'm just going to save this into a pages file so that I can easily reference this. And I'm going to create in here a new document. Blink. I'm going to paste this in there. Save this. Facts. Text. It's in that folder. And then I'm gonna go ahead and also turn this into a PDF because that'll be easier for a step we want to do here in a minute. All right, so we've got our facts. That whole first part is done. Now we want to uncover buyer personas. This is super important for modern advertising. So the whole idea here is you're trying to figure out who the heck are you talking to? And so hopefully with your business, you already have a lot of reviews on any platform. It could be your website, could be a third-party website such as Amazon or Trustpilot or wherever. So you've got a bunch of reviews. Now, if you're just starting from scratch, what you can do is you can just gather competitor reviews. It's gonna work exactly the same. So take the biggest competitor in your space and grab a bunch of their reviews because you're gonna use AI to figure out who the heck is buying this thing and what do they care about. So for this Amazon product, the way I'm going to gather reviews is I'm just going to look at their reviews over here, and then I'm gonna click see more reviews. So right now I'm on top reviews. And so from here, I just wanna click see more reviews, see more reviews, see more reviews, see more reviews, see more reviews. Amazon nowadays only lets you get about 100 of these. There's some trickier ways where you can get more, but we're not gonna worry about that for now. We're just gonna keep clicking until they don't let us click anymore. All right, so that's it. So now we're gonna use our trusty full page screenshot, which is nice because this is pretty much a bulletproof strategy. There's other tools out there and stuff you can use to extract specifically Amazon reviews because they keep wanting to lock this down, but we don't have to worry about any of this. This will be plenty. This will work totally fine without using any other sort of tricky strategies. So we're gonna let that run here. And then once we have more reviews, we're gonna use this buyer personas prompt. And so from here, and I'll give you this document so you'll have access to all of this stuff. And so then we will pop that in there. I just like to give it the actual Amazon product URL. And this would be the same thing as whatever website URL you want to use. You would go ahead and give it that. Paste that in there. Fit bathroom scale is the name of the product. We don't need to do anything else other than give it the reviews that we're exporting. So I'm going to export these reviews. So these will be top reviews. And then I'm basically going to do the same exact process we just went through, except for most recent reviews. So it's kind of annoying because Amazon doesn't want people scraping all the reviews, but basically have to do the same thing again. And so that's that. And so then we're going to screenshot that as well. All right, so I'm going to save this as recent reviews. That's just kind of an Amazon thing. So you can grab top reviews and recent reviews. So now we've got plenty of reviews. And so then in this buyer personas prompt that I'm using in Claude, I'm just going to add both of these PDFs. I'm going to let this run. And so this is going to give me a whole lot of information on the top types of people, I'm calling them personas, that are buying the product, what they care about, and some specific language. So something to remember is that your customers are your best copywriters. What a lot of times people do is they beat their head against the wall trying to write good headlines, good bullets, all that kind of stuff. Instead, just use actual customer testimonials, actual customer quotes, because that's in their actual language, and that'll help you a ton. And so it's also going to spit out some of that. And so while that's running, I'm going to close this and get our new document ready. So I'm just going to call this personas. We'll let this keep running. And then we'll go ahead and go on to the next step just to save some time here. So that's uncovering buyer personas. We're going to save those into its own folder. So the next thing is we're going to choose our offer structure. So in this offer swipe file, I include a lot of different options. And you'll get access to this as well just by watching this video. And so in this offer swipe file, I include quite a few different options. And so these are all based on whether you're doing a one-time purchase or whether you're doing a subscription product. So if you're selling like health supplements or beauty creams or food products, you're most likely going to choose a subscription type offer. If you're selling a one-time purchase product like this bathroom scale, you're going to choose one of these one-time purchase options. And so, for example, we're going to just do, so we'll do this one from the sock brand because it's very simple. But you can choose any of those. And so, as you can see here, they're basically what they're doing is they've got a couple variations, but then they let you buy one pair, two pair, or three pair. And if you buy two, you get two free. If you buy three, you get three free. And so we'll do that exact same offer structure with the bathroom scale. And so one thing to understand when it comes to offers is there's only really a few pieces that matter. So I've given you a ton of examples, but what really matters here is these three things. And I call this the offer triad. So first off, some sort of upsell. And I'm using upsell to encompass what you present pre and post purchase. And so pre-purchase, kind of like the sock example, is just getting people to buy multiple units. So rather than just selling one, what you want to do is get people to buy 3, 4, 5, 6 if possible, but at least 2 of that product or a bundle of multi-products. This makes all the difference in the world when it comes to advertising because everyone's paying basically the same thing. So it's the brands that can make the most amount of money when they get a sale are the ones that win at advertising today. So you want to upsell people. Never let a customer buy just one. You also want to have some element of scarcity. So this could be a limited time promotion. It could be a limited time bonus. It could be a holiday sale. It could be a countdown timer. It could be limited stock available. You'll see at any given time, Amazon basically uses all of these. And they've got more data, more transactions than anybody. So some element of scarcity. You have to get people to feel like they must buy now or they're not going to get this deal. Because in most cases, if they don't buy now, they're going to get 1,000 other ads from other brands and they're going to buy something else or not at all. Last piece is some guarantee, because on your page, you have all these facts, you'll have all these testimonials, all of that good stuff. But then people are like, okay, if this is so good, why am I taking all the risk on my shoulders? So that's the purpose of a guarantee, is you tell people all of this stuff, we 100% believe and we're willing to back it up. So standard option is a 30-day, 100% money back guarantee. If you want to get fancier with this, which I've advised some people, is think about the real risk you're asking people to take. I've got one client that I'm working with, and they sell a product that in most cases people are never going to have to use. But if they do, it's going to be kind of an emergency. And so what if the product doesn't work? Because they're not going to use it ever until then, basically. And so I told them to design a guarantee for that particular case. So they have a standard, I believe, like 60 or 90-day guarantee, just if somebody wants to return it for the heck of it. But they also have another guarantee that protects people for the actual risks associated with that product. And so that's how you make guarantees way better. But at minimum, you need all 3 of these things. So you're going to want to choose the offer model, and then you can basically just download this image, put it in that same folder. So now you have your offer image. And then we're going to go ahead and go back one step. And so now we have our personas. For the scale, it's the mature adult who wants to read the number without glasses or bending over. That's interesting. Wouldn't have expected that. Person with a small bathroom who leaves the scale on the open. So they want one that basically looks better. So now we have our personas. We've got exact quotes from people, why they buy. So this is perfect. So we're going to go back to this section here into our personas, save that. And then we want to figure out our offer. So with our offer, we want to look at our first scale. So we sell it for about $70. So we're just going to keep that in mind. And what are they doing here? So 1 pair is 50, 2 pairs, buy 2, get 2 free, it's this price, and so forth. So basically the whole idea here is they're just giving escalating discounts. And so what we're going to do is our offer is modeled after the screenshot below, but a bit simpler. So we're going to do 1 scale. I want to offer 3 options, 1 scale, 2 scales, 3 scales, because people have multiple bathrooms, they have multiple people who use them, so it's not crazy to buy multiple scales. And so I want 1 scale, we're going to put that at just $70 just to make the math easy. 2 scales is going to be only $50 each, and then 3 scales is going to be only $40 each. And so each one of these is going to have a slightly better discount. And then we also offer a 90-day 100% money back guarantee. And let's drive scarcity by making this our end of summer sale. Include that in the offer section. So then what we want to do is just go ahead and insert an image of that offer that we included, just so we have a reference. And this is done. So then we're going to go ahead and if you're using a Word or Google Docs, you could just do straight those files, but AI doesn't take this format. So we're going to go ahead and export that. So then that buyer personas part is done, and the offer structure part is also done. And so now all we need to do is build our checkout URLs. And so if you're using Shopify, I have instructions below. If you're using some other system, you don't need any of this sort of stuff. And so I have instructions for how to build these checkout URLs. So I'm not going to include those right now, but basically here's information on how to do that stuff if you're selling one-time purchase or subscription. So no problem whatsoever. And so then basically what's going to happen is we're going to build a page. It's going to have reviews, photos, headlines, speaking to personas. It's going to have our offer structure, and it's also going to link straight to checkout so people can buy directly from the page. Now we're going to create our listicle page. So I have this thing called the listicle library, which is another collection of really powerful listicles that you can use for your page. And so you can take a look at all of these. I'd recommend, if you're just starting from scratch, just use this one. And so this is a good listicle option. And so these are basically pages that are laid out in the form of a list. And so these are X reasons why you should buy this product. Reason 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's the offer section. Here's some social proof and everything else. Relatively simple pages, but these pages crush it for a wide variety of brands. So if you're trying to decide what kind of page you should build and you don't know, 100% start with this one. So to build this page, which we're almost done, is we're just going to go to this listicle builder prompt, and then we are going to paste that into Claude. And then we're going to give it all the information we've talked about here. So we want to give it the URL of the listicle we want to model. Then we want to attach all the information that we've already discussed. I want to make sure we have all of this in a PDF format. So then we're going to upload as much information as possible. So I'm basically going to upload all of our reviews in terms of PDFs. And this also includes the original listing information, includes all the facts, includes everything we possibly can that we've discussed so far. The only other piece you really need to do is if you want it to follow any sort of branding guidelines, we're just going to say from the Amazon listing, but if you have branding guidelines, go ahead and give that to it there. And then you need to give it some image URLs. And so grab those from wherever you possibly uploaded them and add those URLs here. And that's it. Then you're going to let Claude get to work and build your page. And this will take basically just a few minutes. So while this is building, I'm going to be releasing a ton more videos like this, showing you how to build sales funnels, the psychology behind it, how to scale a business while actually doing less. So if you want all of that content, go ahead and subscribe to my channel right now. Yep, so once it's done building the page, you're just going to copy up here. And don't worry if you have some image links that are broken, because some of them, depending on where you uploaded them, can't display inside of Claude. So you're going to copy that page. And then if you're using Shopify, if you're using another platform, it'll work fairly similar. But in Shopify, you go to Edit Theme, click that up there, go to Pages, go down here, create a new template. And we're going to call this Scale and create template. And then I'm going to hide this stuff, click Add Section, Custom Liquid. Then I'm going to paste this thing in here, go full screen, and then bam, that's our page. And so as you can see, it looks pretty good, uses our actual photos. Can always tweak it a little bit with Claude. It's got, most importantly, our offer section that looks awesome. So one scale, $70, two scales, $50 each or $100 and so forth. It's got our guarantee. It tells them the battery's included. This is the advantage of getting all the facts before, because I didn't even know this in the few minutes we've been building this thing, but it already knows this because we gave it all the facts, and you're able to have nice tables like this. You already got reviews. So my whole goal with this process is to build a traffic ready page, and this meets that criteria. So I'm just going to save that over there. Then I'm going to go to Pages, add a new page, and I'm just going to say Scale New, and then find that scale we just did, make it visible, click Save, view it, and we're done. Now we could clean this up a little bit. Do I like that the scale is huge up here? Not necessarily. So all we would do is say, make the scale at the top, 1/3 the current size, and then let Claude get to work and they'll fix it out. Then you copy and paste that code again. But otherwise, other than that one weird thing, I think everything else looks great. I mean, these buttons will work. They'll jump down to the offer section. You can go up here. You can go back up to choose your bundle. Then as long as you've got these checkout links, which you just got to give Claude whatever those are for your store where you actually sell stuff, click add to cart. Now people can buy. Now what have you done here? You've created a page in a great template. You have good copy, factual copy, you've got good images, you've got social proof, you've got facts, you've got a good offer section that meets the criteria we talked about. You're getting people to buy multiple. You have scarcity because we talked about including that end of summer sale, which is mentioned a few times on here, including right at the above of the offer section. And we have a guarantee. And so it meets everything that you could possibly want. Doing this stuff, which we've been able to do in not that much time, is not hard to do with the right system, which below this video, you could basically get everything we've talked about for free that, like I said, normally I'm selling right now for 70 to 100 bucks or so, but what the heck. And so you get it for free. So, but most people don't get any of this stuff right. And then that's why they can never scale with paid ads. So a big piece of this is getting this funnel right. And this is it. This is the entire process. There's nothing else here that you really need to do to start running traffic. So your funnel problem is 100% solved. Now, if you want to see my kind of full process where we talk more about funnels, more about traffic, and then also the product side of your business, then watch this next video. It's basically how to double your business while removing yourself from 80% of day-to-day operations. Go check that out right now.